Yay, streaming works, hopefully.
Good luck, guys.
Thought I'd stream a race because Bowl and Bathurst and Fiat Supercars. I've not driven the thing for a couple of days, so
take it easy on lap 1, eh?
Boa sorte aí, pessoal.
I need to figure out how to get Chato wants to do this.
I haven't completed a full lap yet, just to let you know, but I'm way at the back, so I'm right.
Sorry, man, I think there's a few blokes in this session and there's a phone boat.
So it'll only do 15 laps. It does more than that because no one uses the throttle.
Just set up, seat set up.
Right, decent start. Now we've got some sort of like second stage wheel spin, so he's gone now.
What gear do you use for this corner coming up?
Yeah,
Third. Thanks.
gently, gently. Yeah, I'll do. Excuse any funny breathing I'm doing, but this is concentrating work. Oh dear, and that's Sanderson out. He just nose derped the wall at Forest Elbow. It's normally my job. This thing is so much quicker in a straight line than the Corvette. It scares me to death. Slow around the lap, but the straight line speed is mental. Ooh, hello.
Awesome.
I'm just taking it easy at the moment.
Good to
Just
that,
trying to figure out how to drive the thing again. Very different to the vet which I've been driving for most of the day.
You're supposed to say Frosty, mate, Frosty.
I don't know who that map. It looks like it might be in the 3ID sort of coloured car, so he might be good. I'm not sure. Matt Howelski? I don't know. Oh shit!
What was your idea, Russell? Got the wrong dude.
Everyone's always got the wrong dude. What are you talking about? You got the wrong dude. I mean, you're all V8 supercars that no one minus like 3 Australians can drive properly on this game. And you wonder why you crash into each other on a track like this. But I crash into each other, like without being near anyone. I crash into each other.
Wow, that could have been ugly.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Tell you what, if I bloody crack into the 2-minute 8s on fucking race fuel, excuse the French, I'll be checked, but I don't think I will. I think the gearing's pooped itself. Top set. Oh no, it hasn't. Alright.
The safety car gonna come out.
Thankfully, bloody never. We'd never get a green light.
Oh well, wanker. probably going to be
Don't
my best
come
luck
up
of the race.
straight line in the chase like that. Look out, boys.
Potato McGubbins. Fucking. I know, I'll just go 10 miles an hour down the middle of the track. Wonderful. Man, go to the left, do something useful with your life. Rim a lap, idiot. Gaming off track. Still, pull away from that Powell speed. I'm wrong. I don't even, I know I'm wrong. This thing is twitchy. It's fun. And the twitchiness means it actually does the corners. But Corvette and other GTs, they just don't do the corners. They understeer and like, it's a different kind of wrestling, but it's not as nice as the wrestling you get in this.
What gear do you come onto Conrod?
There's people upset at each other,
Oh, you second, mate.
Yeah, sweet, thanks.
which is just the sort of shit that this kind of track's going to evoke. It's just more upset iRacers. I mean, iRacers are quite an upset bunch of people most of the time. Ooh, well, that was twitchy. I've done that wrong, have I? Hold it. I should not be going to first there, but I can't quite figure out the second now I want to. More dirt on Conrad. What? I will make the corner down the bottom of the chase. Up the chase.
Came into the pit like Craig Lowndes there, sideways.
Yeah, it's easy set to manage that though, isn't it?
It's more effective than you actually do it.
Oops.
Yeah, rides the bump really well there.
Thank you, Russell.
Wonderful. Bloke in front of me is blinking and will likely hit a wall. Your yen's disconnected. Yeah. Well, that's one way to do it. If you go slow down that much, we're doing better on the inside, but when you slow down, you're stuck on the side of the track because at that stage you can't really complain very much. Yeah. Oh, is he going to pull over? Yes. You're a nice man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Barely slowing down. Ooh. Such a nice track, and the car is, yeah, if you go and watch Antiboxes recently on YouTube, but iRacers that do that sort of thing, or just some races, But shit, don't talk into that one, Oscar. You'll spin. Yeah, he talks about the V8 just not being enjoyable because it's too twitchy. I think, like, yeah, and it's still too icy on the tyres, maybe. But when people say this thing's undrivable, that's just lots of rubbish. It's not. It's just difficult. You know, I'm not running any magical setup. This is a bloke called Jesper Pedersen, who I've heard of before, so he must be someone half decent, made like on day of release for this car on track. And just dumped some fuel in it, and seems to work alright, you know. I'm no racing dog, just enjoy myself around tracks like this and cars like this. Yeah. Quite accurate bloody track is though. Oh shit, hello. Too bad. Still going to pull over? Doubt it. It's probably going to pull over at a really awkward time and or crash into a wall in front of me. Second one that's done that. Don't know why. I would have thought, oh shit, Oscar, look at you again. I would have thought if you're going to pull over, it'll be off the racing line, but I must say, if they are slowing down and being obvious like that, no complaints, I guess. It's more of a, I would have done it differently, whatever floats your boat sort of thing. Ooh, that's wider than I wanted. Incidentally, not what she said or anything like that. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. Ooh. This thing is, yeah, talking and racing. I'm doing this off of TeamSpeak for once. To try and avoid profanities, but driving this thing sort of breeds profanities. So. I remember a few years, maybe years, I don't know. I was driving this thing at a league organisation called ARL. Great guy, shitty admin. Shitty admin, that's unfair as well. The admin's quite shitty. The owner.
You're a total dickhead. Right back across the track.
Got an Australian going, oh, you're a total dickhead. Yeah,
You're a genius, David.
But, I don't know, people are getting far too frustrated in these Week 13 non-official series at least. But we're going to have at least 2 seasons where 50% of the people that do Bathurst races, regardless of the series, are just going to crash off. That was a slow lap.
Isn't it fast like on track?
Oh, I guess maybe because I had the dodgy turn 2 again with the bat marker, but I didn't think it cost me that much. 13.5 seconds. Yeah. Short shift there. Lifts off a lot. You know the V8 Supercar on this track, you go watch some of the, I don't know, 06, 07 laps, not Greg Murphy's, he was cheating, obviously. But race laps, if you can. I'm sure they're on YouTube somewhere. But this does just look right. And it feels close. Like, yeah, slippy, but close. And iRacing gets a lot of flack for still not having as good a tyre model or as good a feel as it should for the amount of money they're asking. But I don't know. There are certain things that I would have liked for them to have implemented earlier. But, you know, I put higher up my priority list, so as a selfish driver, I want them to put higher up theirs. But
No worries, man.
this feels nice. And you know, even people that haven't driven Bathurst before and are struggling because there's walls everywhere. And you know, I struggle around there. I'm just taking it easy. You look at that, just still enjoying the thing. It's still a fun track. It's a very fun track. I'm gonna get this wrong as well. Just shout outs to other streamers and YouTubers. But Jodie Moffat, who was streaming a bit of Bathurst the other day, really struggling with it as, you know, an American who's not seen Bathurst before. We did a decent job. It was just to go around the corners because they are in horrible places. Bathurst is such a trademark map for Australia because you don't find anything remotely close to this anywhere else. You know, not in Europe, not over in America. Bathurst is such a unique beast. Just going to this section here, all slow car on the left. Which means I'm just reading the slow car on the left, trying to talk, not really paying attention to the fact that I don't want to spin there either. Always awkward catching people there, so I had to focus, but he did his absolute best. Must be awful being, you know, a back marker through that section, and through this section here. There's nowhere for you to go without hitting a wall yourself. And all these people disconnecting. Bathurst just claims victims for breakfast. It was fun to watch. Only halfway. This is the thing as well. The track's a really bloody long lap, even for a V8 Supercar. I think one thing I did here is that Spa is likely to still hold longest lap honours, given the pace that I've been hearing the F1 might be able to go around here, but not sure. I can tell you which track's trickier. It's this one. Spa is much more scumbaggy with off tracks, and that's why everyone moans about it predominantly. But you don't. I mean, you can get off tracks in the final section here, but everywhere else, off tracks are unheard of at Bathurst because you just hit the wall and you're out. Sort of a risk versus reward track to the absolute highest degree. If you put it on the line and push, like, you make a mistake, you're done. But at the same time, you'll be pulling away from people that are dawdling because they want to not be, you know, in a wall and done, and that big twitch at the wrong place there. That was a bit late. Got that really right that time. Oh, Forest elbow Liz. Sometimes you get a twitch on through the little kink before Forest elbow, and you lock the rears and it's just, no, I cannot stop. It's a nightmare. Forest elbow is where I'm struggling around this place, if anywhere. Most of the laps in the Corvette, because there's a big, I've forgotten what it's called now, but a big UK and Ireland event happening tomorrow evening. It'll be broadcasted on BSRTB here on Twitch just had a huge lockup. Gonna try and keep it out of the grass. There we are. That'll be a good one to watch. Multi-class, McLaren, Ford, GT, and Corvette. Corvette, I think. Expecting there's going to be a couple of, you know, Butterboon artists showing how it's done in that, but if I can drive it consistently. Now this is again, it's one of those tracks. It's 2-hour endurance, so you don't want to push. And even if you're really, really good, you don't want to be pushing. Oh no. Living in the south of Wales, so shockingly, you just slowing down there and volume goes down, you can hear it started raining outside. Although, for those in the UK at the moment, that's a fairly common thing. Warnings of the biggest winds since a certain storm back in the 80s or something. Been on the news all the time, it's like, oh, gusts then, you know. The news here in England always sets out to scare us, and the English sentimentality is sort of like, well, we don't care enough anyway. Oh dear. So, thank God the dipper is quite how it is. On another track, you'd have screwed yourself up literally 3 or 4 corners after that. The dipper, you can use your advantage and sort of balance the car back out if you lock up. That's the thing, you know, locking up on iRacing still in these big, heavy front engine rear wheel drive, same with the Corvette. I think that's where I think there's not enough grip. And weird like that, I think it's the front end. I think the rear end's not so bad, but the grip on the front is just laughable. It doesn't exist. Maybe that's why it's so twitchy. Whoever is just pushing it around, but I'm no expert on physics. Well, physics in these racing sims anyway. I don't know what they're designed to do, what they're meant to do. I've not driven a bloody V8 Supercar before. Watched it at Bathurst plenty of times. You know, can make assumptions from what I see and hear and whatnot, but I'm no expert. When you see people having full-on arguments on the forums, you just think, you know, please go to the Special Olympics or something. I mean, maybe 1 in every 400 or 500 has driven the car who are having this argument on the forums. You know, none of them qualified to say that this is realistic or not. They're just not. You know, everyone taking in opinions or not or whatever. Like, very few of those opinions have enough validity to be listened to. This is still far more realistic than, you know, your Gran Turismo. The quality of racing is going to be better than any pickup stuff you get on your Xbox. Like, that's half the point in iRacing. Maybe not to be perfect, and maybe it doesn't have the right to not be perfect given its cost. But, you know, we all still play it. You know, there's a moan about it on the forums all day long. There's my other off track. That's what I get for naysaying the forums and iRacing. Get given an off track at Bathurst. I'm sorry. Yeah, again, it's just all debate, all rants for other people to have. This is a hobby. If I'm enjoying it, it's doing it right. I enjoy iRacing. They've got a laser scan Bathurst that feels top notch. Yeah, like, no complaints. Well, would have complained, you know, it's exactly what I want. It feels great. Driven more than just this car around here. They all have felt lovely so far. Yeah, I even got introduced to the IndyCar at Milwaukee Mile the other day, which is a 13th week official thing going on. And I thought, not keen on the IndyCar Rovers. That was awesome fun. I actually highly recommend going and having a go, just for the few laps on the start and on the restarts where the car is near on impossible to drive without spinning. And it's perfectly fun. You do just have lots of fun with it. I had a few instances and, you know, knocked myself off, knocked some people off, out of inexperience in racecraft with the IndyCar on the other. I can drive the big things, but IndyCar's different, very different. And, quick enough, but not like consistent enough or aware enough. Field of view on the thing hurt my brain as well. Well, not field, the cockpit, whatever. Ooh, and that's wide. It's right there. So second gear is there for it to collect all of the rubbish bits at that corner. Funny noises. That's just because I'm driving this thing and it produces funny noises for me because it's scary as hell. Yeah, went karting today. That was fun. British University Karting Championship test thing. Well, quite quick, quite entertaining. And it was dry when I did it, which is scary for South Wales. I even got sunburn, and it's winter in Wales, and everywhere else is raining. I don't understand it. I am that stereotypical white as white English person who gets sunburn, you know, the sun threatening to come through. Wonderful fun though. It's one thing I say about sim racing, it's just put me in a go-kart any day. If you could tell me that I would get to go-kart every weekend from now to eternity if I gave up sim racing, I'd give up sim racing. It's a very straightforward decision. One is better than the other and it's the one where it's real. The sim racing substitute though is fantastic and I appreciate it. It's given me lots and lots of fun over the years. Hopefully we'll continue to do so for years to come. And I think iRacing's probably, well, you've got to set a cost enough factor too, but given the money that goes into iRacing all the time, I think it's probably got the best chance of developing into something fantastic. It's really good now. It's not perfect, it's not amazing and stunning, but it's really good. And they've got so much more to give, and it takes time in iRacing. You know, they run on soon, that's the ongoing joke. I mean, what sim doesn't? Throw a joke out there, Live for Speed, run that, talk about running on soon. S3, I think it's December 2009 that was going to come out. Yep. Still waiting. Dev's recently been getting a bit twitchy there because not getting any money because they've not released anything new for years. Funny that. There's no one buying your old game. Shock. I'm sure that there's something going on with Speed, and that's where I started. You could almost call it a cult following now. Live for Speed does have a huge sort of following of the same people that have been there since forever. And that might die off a bit in coming years, but I don't think it'll go away. And if S3 content or new content is released, then pick up instantly. It happened when they opened up track layout so that we could sort of fiddle about, make new tracks, and you know, just elongate the life of the sim a bit. There's one thing I'll say, and it's off topic to iRacing and whatnot, but go and have a look at Live for Speed leagues over the past 5 years, because there's just been no new content. It's been down to the community, and it's a non-moddable sim. Just a game there shooting. Obviously, some people probably would like to, particularly after I naysay Live for Speed. Don't go on the wrong side of that community, jeez. But yeah, very, very good stuff. And Live for Speed gave it a boost. You know, what was I saying? Yeah, when we had to sort of figure out new things, that Live for Speed community, whilst being a bit aggressive and, you know, you don't want to get on the wrong side and whatnot, when it came to creating new leagues and interesting ideas out of nothing, I mean, it was second to none. You want to put those guys on creative teams for other games, because it was just fantastic to watch, you know. Making up new series out of the same stuff that they've been running for the past 5 years, and like not just new but interesting as well. It takes a lot of skill. I mean, iRacing, obviously there's a lot that goes into it, but you know, if they can just say, here's 2 new bits of content, keeps you pleased for 3 months, whilst they panickingly put together another bit of content, and also the roof, please. Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. It's gonna be lovely around here. Though, what isn't going to be lovely around here? Easily the best track in the sim and in the world. And I'm biased, but I don't care. Still right. See, bloody Forest Elbow every time. Does it want to turn in? A little bit, will it? No. Turning in is for the weak. Still got that silly sort of like first couple of laps are your quickest. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. One more lap to win. Okay. No pressure then. This spin from pole, it has been a dull as hell race, but you know, thought, again, empty box shout out, not trying to take away from anyone else's thunder, but it seemed like a nice idea. And I've always got some sort of rubbish to ramble out and like to give myself an excuse to drive races, really. Sometimes I don't have a good enough excuse and just don't do it. And maybe I gave myself, you know, do a video, and yes, this is streamed live as well, but the whole rendering video thing's not going to work from my end. Twitch is also an ever improving service. Renders it for me, and it's still in high quality. I've got decent internet, so it's high quality on Twitch, which means it will be high quality when it gets put on YouTube, hopefully. It's been nice to me so far. Not as high quality as some people would want, and maybe as I would want if I ever get touchy with myself, but I'm no perfectionist. If it's not the world's best quality, I'll cry about it later. And by later I mean I won't cry. When I do YouTubers that get very nickety about it. Oh yeah. Whee! That was exuberant and wrong, because now I've ruined any chances of the good lap I was on to be better than that. 2 minute 9 dead. Shit, I've done. Have I done? Yes, I've done a 2 minute 8. Scary as hell, and not even remotely as quick as some of the good guys, but. Did a 0.4. Yeah, tyres sort of were getting a bit funny at the end there. What's fuel looking like? See, another 3 laps, not much. Jeez, yeah. Lots of pit stops if they actually run the 75 litre tank. Right, I'm going to just pull off in this bit here, I think. That'll do. Gonna get bored and go watch the start from an interesting angle or something. Where's me? Oh,
Good win, Oscar.
Cheers, Grant.
Nice work too, mate. Yeah, the setup I've got seems to come on towards the end of the race, which is pretty impressive. I've done 10.96 on lap 10. I was happy with that.
Yeah, so just watching about that. A bit of chatter in the background, I imagine, because the race just finished, but very nice. And just returning probably to case in point, which is a bit of a Ford Falcon around Bathurst. Yeah, this is easily the most fun I've had in a long time, and maybe racing the Corvette tomorrow, but it doesn't shine a light to this thing. Like, it's twitchy and wonderful, and
Some bloke
I know that
his
Twitchy's
name
not
was,
for everyone,
Barnes.
and Grant's talking again.
And
Fair enough.
he was up against the wall on the outside, and I was good to go up the inside, and he just hit reverse and back straight across the track and drove into the side of him. Destroyed the front of the car, but the steering was alright. I said him up on the radio, but it was all too late. Way to go.
Gotta love these
Yeah, David
things. Are
Vincent from number 7 car.
fantastic cars,
Happy with
and
him.
lots of screw.
We were on
Come
top
under
of
a lot of
battle
scrutiny
there, I
from
was
people in
coming
iRacing
through
for being too twitchy or too this
a
or
hard
too that,
place to
and
park,
just, you know,
so, yeah, it would've
man, I
been a
can
good
learn.
practice.
Yeah, they're twitchy, but you know, I got 2 incidents there. It's not too bad. 2 incidents around a 15-lap race at Bathurst. I'm really not going to cry my eyes out at. It probably could have been none if I paid more attention, but the times weren't bad. They weren't great. Oh, that was a big hit. Times weren't great, but who cares? Awesome fun. Did win a bit. Hopefully do races later on in the following season where I start not at the front and have to race a bit, because racing around today, that's when it gets interesting. There's just nowhere to pass, minus
I was
maybe
catching you across the top.
through
I
the
think
chase
they had
here.
pegs
where
going
I
down
am.
Conrod
Yeah.
where it counts. I think, you know, in the final lap, I was looking at
The
the
thing is
splits,
awesome
and
stuff.
you were gapping me on Conrod.
Most fun.
I think it would have been really
Anyway,
good.
that's going to wrap me up. I'm going to call it a day, because it's a bit late here, and my arm hurts from karting.